Hey everyone, this is Joseph or Joey Figueroa. Today I'm going to go over the rest of my sketchbook that I've completed for this semester. So, my cover has a couple more things that inspire me, um, such as like this design, and a couple other things that I found. Um, these are just things that I find interesting and keep me motivated to keep drawing, and that's why I have those around. So a couple of these drawings you've already seen. So in the beginning of my semester, I definitely don't think I was as confident as how I am now completing this sketchbook. A lot of the time, I found myself not sure of how to approach things, and especially with the figure draw, the figure. I kept drawing it very anatomically correct as possible, and I wasn't pushing myself um, with the character as far as like bends, folds, or even anything stylistically different. For example, like this, I've stretched the hat, exaggerated the nose. Um, so definitely throughout this sketchbook, it's me pushing myself forward. Um, and I did allow myself to explore as many mediums that I did. A lot of the times I do work with a blue pencil, like a blue graphite. Usually I tend to do that because it's a lot softer as compared to when I work with graphite. It's very darker. Another thing is graphite, it tends to be messy sometimes, so um, that's why I use the blue one. And usually I'll draw on top of it with graphite, such as these. Um, but yeah, throughout this sketchbook, I'm definitely trying to push myself and trying to develop different styles that I like. Um, and I take, especially with certain models that we would get, I would definitely try to push certain features or explore characteristics. Like in this example, this model was very skinny, but he had these hands that were very exaggerating. And like to play with that. These are just me playing around with different styles. Some of these designs do eventually become like, or I do end up digitalizing them. So on my tablet, I'll draw them over. Here's more of my gestures and me exploring the model and how I want them to look and the expression. Um, this character was very rounded, and I contrasted it with very sharp edges with the her outfit. She had these really tiny little hands and really tiny feet, but she was very rounded. I really like how this character came out. That in fact later on I do end up designing something completely different. These are my Inktovers. For my Inktovers, I did make a separate video on how that went. So I'm just gonna kind of glaze over them. Um, some of the things is that I felt that I liked for Inktober is that it kept me motivated to keep drawing and pushing myself and explore different styles and really think about how I organize myself and prepare myself for other drawings. Um, because Inktober is really tough. It's really hard. If you don't plan ahead, the workload really does tend to pile up, and when you do finish it, it's very satisfying. I will say that, and you get a lot of really nice designs out of them, like something like this, and you know, I know for me it was really fun, and I like working with some of these styles, and that I really want to keep exploring. So here I feel more confident in trying different styles, seeing what I like, or seeing how artists approach the gesture. That's definitely one thing that I kept in mind is how to approach the models and what to exaggerate and what to what would make a really interesting character. In this particular case, is his nose and his folds on his head. I really like those features, and I wanted to keep pushing them as much as I could. Um, so here's a couple more. Same thing with this gentleman. This gentleman had very expressive eyes, and I like that I use his mustache as a way to express his emotions. So here's some designs. I feel like I could quite push some of these gestures for sure. Um, for instance, in this character, I really wanted him to have a really big torso and a really small little waist. These are some more Inktober's. And these are some more sketches of and gesture drawings. Here I feel like I'm feeling very confident, and I feel like I can design a couple of the drawings more successfully, and I can approach the model and start thinking about other things like shapes, and not worry too much about the structure and how it's placed, or in this case, character design, or how to incorporate some sort of story. Like all these, I had to think about really which lines to put and which ones not to put, so I don't spend too much time on something that I don't really need to be doing, and I could put more time onto the design of the actual character. And here I'm really exaggerating, seeing like things that I like the nose or the feet, or even the elongation of the arm and how it connects down and flows down to the dress. Really keep exploring and pushing myself. These are more gesture drawings and the light blue pencil. Some Inktober's. I also work a lot with ink. A lot of the push pens and micro pens for these. Mostly just for the Inktober though. For everything else, I kind of used it on some gestures, but mostly it was just graphite or Prismacolor pencil. Here's another model exploring this is the exact same model from before with the hands. So this one I exaggerated more of the hands and elongated the body, the form, made him really thin, and how he twists and turns, or it was really fun to do this one. He's very expressive. This was my last Inktober. This is the one that the final one that I did of that other gesture of the model. She's this one right here to this one. These are more gestures. So here I'm keep pushing myself as far as like how to push the figure. So I exaggerated the folds here and then the expression. Kind of kept in mind this turtle-esque, or like a turtle kind of person. Some more. Did a different kind of design, very simple. Small beady eyes, very rounded head, but the folds. And this character I did, this is the one that I did with marker. I felt more confident here and didn't really care too much about the how anatomically correct it would look. And I was more concerned with the overall gesture and what I can use to develop a character, or what shapes and to use. These are more gestures and expressions here. These are things that I collect, like leaves, and see if I can develop some sort of ideas, or if they inspire me. Here I'm exploring other artists' styles and applying them to references that I was doing or observing. Same thing with these. They're really fun, kind of helps me understand how I want to approach the gesture and what parts I want to exaggerate, like round out or thin out or triangular, or stuff like that. By now, I feel like I'm more concerned of how to push the figure and how to really make it unique, like exaggerating the faces in a certain way, exploring different styles. Here, I'm exploring other gestures and styles with the expression. Same thing with these. And then I start kind of just building a bank of gestures and facial features to have. These are a couple more. Like these, I start just sketching them just to understand the form, and then that way when come back, I can like push on certain things or feel more confident with how the gesture will look. So here's a couple more. And all these I got from Pinterest and also from DeviantArt. They have a lot of gesture references or model references with like they're doing like certain activities, which is what I liked, or in perspective. So I really took advantage of this. Some of them are fighting, or are in like certain action poses. And so I really kept pushing myself towards the end as far as like drawing the figure more comfortably. And that is it. I did continue on over to this next sketchbook. So I started here. Same thing, just exploring gestures. I'm using pen. I do have a tendency to not erase, only so that I know what it is that I drew and what to look for. This character, I'm also paying attention to shapes that I want to use for his body. So in this case, circles and triangles is what I wanted to use. And then in the end, I think I ended up with something different. Something like this. I really like these. These are probably my favorite. And then just more gestures. And here I kind of took one of those drawings and then I kind of redrew it and try to have a finished one using colors and stuff. Here I'm doing more gesture drawings. And then here we had another model, and we were assigned to develop a kind of character out of him. He had this like biker's helmet, which made him look like kind of like Hermes' hat. So I kind of went with that, and he was using a lot of like, or he kept using like a lot of like superhero stances. So I kind of pushed on that. And I also this model was very skinny too, and I had a belly, and I kind of like wanted to explore that, and so I ended up with something like this. Kind of really goofy character, bubbly butt, and a little belly. Here's some more, and this is my last one. Yeah. So thanks you guys for joining in. I'll keep you guys updated. And until next time, happy holidays.